Good morning, children. Today we are going to proceed ahead with the lesson Working of Institution. And in today's class, we are going to read about the powers of the Prime Minister and that of the President. So, first we will take up the Prime Minister. Prime Minister is the head of the government and he enjoys wide ranging powers. He chairs the cabinet meetings and exercises general supervision of different ministries. Then all ministers they work under his leadership. The prime minister distributes and redistributes works to the ministers. He also has the power to dismiss the ministers. So when the prime minister quits, the entire ministry has to quit. So we can say that the prime minister is the most powerful person in the cabinet. The powers of the prime minister in all parliamentary democracies of the world they have increased many times in the recent decades. In India also we have seen a tendency towards the concentration of powers in the hands of prime minister. However, in recent years we have also seen the rise of coalition politics which has imposed certain restrictions or we can say constraints on the powers of the prime minister. The prime minister of the coalition government cannot take decision as he likes because he has to accommodate different groups and factions in his party as well as among alliance party. Now we will take up the president. We all know that the prime minister is the head of the government and the president is the head of the state. Now, in our political system, the head of the state exercises only nominal powers, okay, because he is not elected directly by the people. He is like the Queen of Britain, whose functions are just ceremonial only. So, the president we have seen is not elected directly, he is elected by the members of parliament and the elected members of the legislative assembly. The president supervises the overall functioning of all the political institution in our country, and at the same time he enjoys certain powers also, like all government activities take place in the name of president. Then all laws and major policy decision of the government are also issued in his name. Then there are major appointments which are made in the name of the president. Now, these appointments include the appointment of Chief Justice of India, the judges of the Supreme Court and the High Court of the states, then governors of the state, the election commissioners, ambassadors to other countries, etc. And then at the same time, all international treaties and agreements are made in the name of president. He is also the supreme commander of the defense forces of India. Actually, when we see that the president exercises all these powers only on the advice of the council of ministers. A bill passed by the parliament becomes a law only after the president gives assent to it. Then the president also has the power to impose emergency in the state. Then the president also has the power to appoint the prime minister. When a party or coalition of parties they secure a clear majority in the election, then the president appoints the leader of the majority party or the coalition that enjoys majority support in the Lok Sabha. However, when there is no party or coalition getting a majority in the Lok Sabha, in that case, the president exercises her discretion and appoints a leader who, in her opinion, can muster majority support in the Lok Sabha. Now, in such a case, the president can ask the newly appointed prime minister to prove majority support in the Lok Sabha within a specified time. Now, children, in the next class, we are going to read about the judiciary.